how would you like to achieve your first million? And today we have Simon joining us from United Kingdom. He's a seasoned digital marketing expert, an entrepreneur, and passion advocate for social and political change with over 25 years of experience in the digital marketing industry. So, Simon, tell us, what are the 5 steps to make your first million?
Welcome to Unstoppable Podcast with Harry Sardinas, inspiring conversations with influential millionaires, investors, thought leaders, entrepreneurs who are making a massive difference with their innovative products and services, and sharing the challenges and wisdom of how they sold their first million.
I think you've got to one of the first things that you've got to do is actually decide that you're going to move towards that. You've got to be decisive, plan, be strategic, make decisions. I think it's very easy. Lots of people will put a plan in place, and they'll have not even a plan. They'll have a dream. They'll have a dream. They'll say, I'm going to set up my own business. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And then they'll find every excuse and every reason why they can't do it. And I know this myself as well, because I look back when I first started my kind of journey in entrepreneurialism. I started my first business when I was probably 19. Started working on this little business. Bear in mind, this was the start of the internet, so I had my own website. I was selling things online. I was trading online. I was doing all the rest of it, and it was working. And then I bottled it. Really, I got to the point where I thought, I've done university. I've been building this little business online, but I better go and get a proper job now. And not having that kind of clarity to be able to say, well, actually, you've got something there, and you should focus on that and make it work. And this is what you can do. And I think I tried to kind of keep it going in the background, but I wasn't decisive enough to say I definitely want to do this. I'm definitely going to go after this. And it happened again for me. When I was building Grow Traffic. So I built Grow Traffic, and then over the years, I was still working when I first set up Grow Traffic. And I remember we got to the point where we were just about to employ our 6th employee, and one of my fellow directors was about to go for a meeting with our 6th employee. And I remember it was about 8 o'clock in the morning, and I messaged her and I said, I'm still working full time, and I'm working around the clock doing this as well. Why are we employing somebody else when I'm not in the business now? I said, go and have a coffee with this person, have a chat, be nice, but don't offer them the job, which is what she was going to do. She was going to offer them the job. So employee number 6, stopped there, and then it was at that point that I was able to join the business, or decided to join the business in that respect, as a full-time employee. And that was indecision on my part, hoping it would get better, hoping things would change, and really not having the confidence to stick with it and understand the role that I could have within the business as well, and how me being in the business full time would actually actively drive it forward. So I think there's a number of different things there, but being decisive is part of it, and it's something that years after that I've kind of honed in on as well. So understanding that when things aren't working, it's a case of figuring out what's not working quickly, and making a decision to actually make a change, and affecting that change rather than letting things drag on for months. And I'm thinking of certain situations with employees specifically as well, where we will have had an employee where we perhaps knew that it wasn't right, wasn't working, they were costing us money. I remember we had one employee that I'm thinking about a few years ago, who we really couldn't put them on any client work, and we didn't really know why we were keeping them at that point. So that highlighted to me again. You've got to make decisions, and you've got to kind of stick with them and make those decisions quickly. And I think that it's something you learn over time as well. It's a skill, is making decisions and quickly and sticking to them and not always second guessing yourself. But it's something that you get better with over time. But it's something that if you have that right from the very beginning, I am going to do this, I'm going to start up, I am going to get to this point. Once you know that, and once you've made that decision, then you can start planning towards it.
Yeah. So, Simon, what made you to become an entrepreneur? Why do you have any entrepreneur in your family? Also, what the story? Why you decided to build Go Traffic?
So, do I have any entrepreneurs in my family? Not really. Not massively. I suppose I came from a bit of a kind of farming background. My grandparents were farmers, so there's kind of an element of seeing um, a business running from a home and how all the families has to be involved in it. So there's a kind of element of entrepreneurialism there. My dad was a builder, a joiner, and throughout my childhood, I saw him, going out there to generate additional revenue or additional money when he needed it. You know, he used to, I don't know, whatever he was saving up for, holiday, or he needed a new tool. So he would have to go out and do a bit extra work on the side type thing. So I saw all that. And then, like I say, when I was at university, I set up my first little business, and that really helped pay for my way through university. So in that respect, I suppose that kind of
What
created
was
that.
the business about?
Well, I don't know whether I should really admit this, but um, I I had a rattery, so I used to breed rats, pet rats, um, and I sold thousands of pet rats over the years. And then I
Wow.
started, yeah, and then basically it was a hobby, it was a science experiment, it was all these things. Somebody once said to me that I said I'd really like to breed a certain kind of rat. Uh, a blue variegated Dumbo Rex. And bear in mind, this is like 20 odd years ago. Um, and one of the kind of leading rat breeding people in the UK said it can't be done. There's too many factors to go in. So I mapped out this big kind of plan. This is how I'm going to do it. And it took 6 years to breed this rat. And
Really? Wow.
it took me 6 years. It took a lot of generations, but I eventually managed it. Um, but
And
in the
it's
process of
compliant
that,
now, can be a pet
yeah,
after so
yeah.
many years.
Well, yeah, they're out there. So in the process, I exported rats to Russia, to the Netherlands. They're out there. The descendants of all my kind of breeding program is out there in the world. And not only did I do that, I also started to build cages for other people interested in keeping rats. So and then I sold those online as well. So that was, bear in mind, very early days of the internet at that point. So I had people. I used to live in Manchester at that time, and people from all around the country kind of came to Manchester to meet me and to buy rats off me or get cages from me and all the rest of it. So and I had my own little website doing what it was doing. It was called Cosmic Squeak Rattery. Um,
So maybe that was the source of your first business because you need to drive traffic in order to sell, right?
Definitely, and I remember somebody having read the website and they were talking to me about some of the pages that they read and how they found me, and I remember that is always, I always think about that as being one of my first kind of stabs into the area of SEO. What kind of cemented that was I was working for a marketing agency. So the first kind of proper job that I got was working for a marketing agency that exclusively did marketing for the commercial vehicle industry, so vans and trucks. And I was involved in a PR campaign, a marketing campaign for Isuzu trucks at the time. And I started noticing that whenever I put press releases out and got links from places, this got them more traffic. So I started to see what was happening. Um, and yeah, so that was 20 years ago, when that happened. And from there, I moved on to a company called We Buy Any Car, which is a where I was
Yeah,
the
I hear
brand
about it.
manager. Yeah,
Yes.
it was just in its kind of infancy at that point, but I was the brand manager for We Buy Any Car at that stage. So it was at that point that I learned PPC work. So as Google Ads had only just come out really at that point, so it was still relatively new in its own rights, and I was really lucky to be working for We Buy Any Car, but they were actually part of a bigger brand called the UK Car Group, which also owned Carcraft and You Can Car Credit and numerous different brands. So I was quite lucky in that respect that I got that experience when I did. And then I think that I was looking for a kind of side hustle, if you like. We didn't call it side hustles back then, but I was looking for an opportunity to do some work, and I started by originally doing some market research for people. Um, Look, getting back in touch with some of my contacts from the commercial vehicle industry. So I did a bit of market research there. But I'd really got into the kind of search marketing side of it, so SEO, PPC. Um, I had a I had a blog, if you like, on a website called LiveJournal, which people might remember LiveJournal. It was one of those early blogging platforms, and that blog was called Grow Traffic. And so I eventually bought the domain. One of the things that kind of precipitated it was my wife was pregnant at the time, and I think now I'm never 100% sure on the date of this, but I'm pretty sure it was either the 13th or the 9th of October when I bought the domain, and my son was born on the 17th of
Oh,
October.
the domain is good.
Yeah,
The domain is just spectacular. I have to
yeah,
say
it's
that.
it,
Uh,
it
I think if
I
you
had
sell it, you can retire. You can sell it for a lot of money.
it's not bad.
Yeah.
It works for me. So yeah. So what kind of got me to do it there and then? Probably my son being about to be born. I'm thinking about the future. So I look for a domain that could give me that kind of longevity. Could give me a brand. Would enable me to potentially in the future build it into an agency in its own right and not just a freelance concern, but also would work as a freelance concern if that was all it was ever going to be. So that's kind of how it started. Few false starts over the years, as I think everyone does. Try to work with different people. There was the big kind of fallout in the SEO kind of marketing sphere in about 2012, 13 when Google really started to um, clamp down on particularly bad practices in the SEO industry, and that hurt a lot of people, and that sowed a lot of distrust over SEO companies, SEO agencies, and professionals. So, and that set us back a bit. And so there's been a lot of things that have gone on over the years that have kind of got us to this point. But yeah, I suppose it was those early experiences of trying to generate revenue whilst I was at university. It's the experience I had running a campaign with and for Isuzu trucks and We Buy Any Car, and then trying to come up with something that I could do just as my son was being born.
But Simon, there is a concept that even regardless that you've been 25 years, yes, and technology has advanced and changed. Today we have blockchain and things that you didn't even thought that's gonna exist 25 years ago. Still, the concept is the same in business, and sometimes we have a new generation of entrepreneurs that they think, well, this is old school, this doesn't work anymore, without realizing that the business principles is there. If you have a product, especially what this broadcast is about, how to get to your first million, how to go from your 0 to 1 and get your product market fit. If you design a product, you have a product, in order to you to get this product market fit, you have to drive traffic, or similar, what is translated today into is to build the community. But how you build the community? You need to send traffic to attract the people that are interested in your product or service to join your community. So at the end of the day, you need to drive traffic to your social media page, your website, whatever place you want your community to hang around. And this is so essential that if you are not working with the right person at this early stage of the company, can break it.
Yeah.
And that's it. You lose your
Yeah,
chance.
absolutely.
This is nobody talks about this, Simon. So I would like to for you to share a little bit more. You have 20 years experience on the field. It seems very simple. Oh, okay, I'm starting my company. And well, this about bringing traffic, I don't care about. I'm not gonna learn anything about it. I'm not gonna understand anything about it. And I'm gonna go and whatever I find in internet quickly that can help me with this, I'm gonna bring it in, and that's all. And by the way, I don't want to pay so much money because I want to find the cheapest one, without realizing that if you don't do this piece correct at the early stage, you don't, in my opinion. So what message do you have for entrepreneurs out there going from 0 to 1, that they don't take seriously the ability to bring traffic and to bring the right traffic to your organization at the early stage as more cost effective as possible, is what actually is gonna make it or not for your business.
Yeah.
Any message you have for the entrepreneurs that they don't take this seriously?
Yeah,
And
I
why do
think
you think
that,
they're not taking seriously?
well, I think that often, so we work quite a lot with manufacturing businesses, and quite a lot of manufacturing businesses out there say we know all our suppliers, we know all of our customers, that it's very limited. Why would we do something like SEO, for example, which is a long-term strategy, and it's often difficult to say definitively this is the impact from what we've done. It's a cumulative approach. So I understand that when you're starting a business and money is tight, and money always has to be kind of considered. You always need to, I'm not one of these people that thinks that you should just throw endless amounts of money at things. But right at the beginning, you're counting every penny and thinking, should I really be spending this on a medium to long term strategy, or should I be looking at something like Google AdWords, which is a more direct response kind of approach to marketing, or should I be, I don't know, should I just employ a salesperson, for example, and just send them out there and get them to bang on the doors of the people that I know and do it that way? And the answer generally is that you should be doing a bit of everything, and it's about trying to figure out what's going to work for you at the time, what you can put towards the different channels that are out there. So from an SEO perspective, you might say, actually, I can't afford to do a massive link building content kind of SEO campaign. However, I'm going to learn a bit about it and I'll do some of it myself. And I will write some blogs and get some blogs live on my website, and the same with social media, you need to say to yourself, "Oh, I need to get this social media out, and I'm just going to do it." And brilliant. It's absolutely great if you've got some funding behind you, you've got a bit of cash in the bank, and you you can portion it out accordingly. You know, you can put a percentage towards that direct response activity. You could put a proportion towards going out networking or going to conferences or buying an email database. All great things. But one of the really good things about investing early on in your SEO and content marketing and all that type of stuff is that you don't have to do it later on, or you know, if you're really going to grow, you're going to have to do it sometime later on. And the longer you put off doing it, the longer it's going to take to achieve the benefits of that kind of activity. And it will enable people to find you that you don't know need to find you. And going back to those manufacturers, so for example, we work with a company that or we used to work, should I say, with a company that produces the insulation for the inside of furnaces, magnetic electro arc furnaces, and they got a call from BMW's prototype teams. It's almost 10 years ago, but BMW wanted a prototype of the insulation that would go in between the battery cells for their electric car so that they don't get the thermal run on. And you're talking about a business there that was 102 years old, I think it was at the time, that had only ever produced this like very specialist insulation for furnaces. And that's an example. And I've got others where we have one of our clients produces specialist coatings, and and Aston Martin contacted them to spray specialist coatings on one of the materials that they were using, high-tech material they were using in the car. It was something like carbon fiber, but I know it wasn't quite carbon fiber, I think. And they'd been working with a university for 5 years at that point. And they still hadn't fully managed to get this material to be coated properly. And they, through some random searches that they were doing on the internet, they found our client that specializes in coating the underside of railways rails, and that provides coatings on, say, ball joints that go in deep sea kind of applications, deep sea valves, which allow oil to be transported from oil rigs to shore, things like that. Very specialist applications, but they said, you know, Aston Martin, I think it was Aston Martin, contacted them and they said, yeah, we can do that. You know, we have that technology already. We already do it. And this university in the UK have been trying to do it for, I think, 4 or 5 years by that point. And it goes to show that despite you thinking that you know all your potential customers, or despite thinking you know how you sell your product and who you sell it to, there are opportunities out there that you don't necessarily know about, and that can come to light off the back of search opportunities off social media. Think of another one as well, actually. They produce a well-being app, and they, off the back of PPC and SEO, secured inquiries from the likes of Facebook. They secured, I don't know, AIG, Fujitsu. All of these companies became their clients, all off the back of the kind of marketing campaigns that we were operating for them. And yeah, so these are things that they would never have been able to, these probably companies that they would have struggled to get in front of if they'd have tried to get in front of them. The benefit of kind of SEO, of paid search, is that the activities is, you know, the the searcher on the other side is making an action to actually go out there and they're doing their research. So as long as you're there, there's an opportunity for them to contact you and and for you to sell to them in a way that you can't get in very many other channels, which are much more kind of push things out there, scattershot, much less targeted kind of approaches to marketing.
So AI is definitely making and improving the industry. And we have a lot of controversial on this topic. A lot of people are saying, AI is going to take away my job. But on the other hand, if the companies don't embrace and learn AI, it's not going to be job for anybody. The whole company is going to collapse. So, and in terms of sending traffic to the website, in terms of to a website or to a point where when your customers hang around, like I always share that now if you want to start a business, a very good idea would be start a community first, grow that community, and after you can even ask that community, hey, I'm thinking to launch this product. What do you think about it? How much you willing to pay for it? Do you like it? Do you like it? So like that, you have this, what we call it, the product market fit, because it's always over the 500 millionaires that we interviewed in this broadcast so far, no one has come to tell me, Harry, the product that I have, exactly as I designed it, people start buying it. So it's always the client who refine your product, and having that community, having this group of people that they are interested about your product, that know that likes your product. That's the best people for you to give you feedback and for you to reshape and tell you what the market really wants to buy.
Yeah.
AI comes now, and if you are using AI effectively, you can grow a community more faster and effectively. Would be gonna be your cash machine basically, because every time you need money, you will go to and present something to that community. So all your job is gonna be growing that community and present products and services to that community, and that's it. For that, sending traffic is the big piece of it. And if you know how to use AI, now you can do the job that 10 people can do in with only one person. So what's your view, Simon, in AI? Is this really true what I'm telling you?
Yeah, no, it makes perfect
What
sense.
is it really, as this AI as good as they think they say?
I love AI. So I absolutely love it. I use it every day. I use multiple different pieces of AI software and different brands and for slightly different things. I was talking to somebody about this last night actually. I consider AI to be like a calculator, but for the for language almost. So um, and and I think Pete, there's a misconception that AI is doing all the work for you. And I think like a calculator, like those old scientific calculators that you used to have, if you didn't understand the concepts around trigonometry, then you wouldn't be able to go to that calculator and select sine, tan, or cosine, or although use your kind of calculator in that way. And it's kind of similar with AI. It's just much broader because it kind of covers the whole scope of human knowledge, really, which is brilliant, which is absolutely amazing. But let's just in terms of day-to-day use of AI that I really benefit from. Um, every month, we're talking about doing things like the invoicing runs and things like that. And I check things and I write reports for people. And I used to dread the start of the month because of those things, it'd be end of the month would be a bit of invoicing, start of the month would be probably a bit chasing, report writing, all the rest of it, trying to get everyone in the same place, and it could take days, and now I'm finding that I can get that out of the way within a few hours. The same amount of work is taking me hours rather than days. Which is, just one example of how it's already benefiting me personally. But also, research is so much easier than it was. Being able to talk things through. So I find myself becoming that bit more, going back to the point that I was making at the beginning about decisions. I'm able to make decisions because I've already made them. I've already considered a lot of the things that perhaps, I wouldn't have made, I wouldn't have been able to consider in a moment because I've previously thought about it and previously had somebody, not somebody, I'm calling AI somebody there. I've had that challenge that somebody else might put towards me in a decision-making environment. So that's really beneficial, but it's going to change the world, and it already has changed the world. I think it's in terms of what it's going to do for my industry, for the kind of digital marketing industry that is my bread and butter. Well, yeah, you're already seeing people putting at the moment, I think you can still tell quite a lot of the time that it's AI generated content. We're talking about things like everything from AI generated images to posts that are going out. I've experimented with quite a few of the kind of automated AI marketing apps that are out there. I accidentally set one loose on Grow Traffic's Facebook page a couple of months ago, much to the consternation of all the team who have savagely mocked me ever since. And I made it worse because I forgot to cancel it after the free trial period. So it just carried on. It was a real kind of here the machines are taking over moment. So it's but we managed to use that as well. So in the same way that we left it going, we didn't just stop it. We kind of left it putting its AI content onto the Grow Traffic feed, and then we talked about it around it. So we made a conversation about it. We have a kind of a joking kind of way of approaching me on our social media platforms. I encourage the team to kind of take the mickey out of me in a British way of saying it, make a bit of fun of the way that I do things, but going back to that community side of things, it means that lots of the community is really engaged with that. So when we set up our a product that we developed called Grow Skills, which is a DIY solution for SEO, for digital marketing, where we have a bank of resources. And then we have a number of different levels, but basically we will create somebody a plan with them, and then we'll provide them with the resources and the checking, and the checking in with them just to make sure that they're actually delivering it over time. And that's called Grow Skills. But when we launched that, I invited quite a lot of people, and it surprised me how many people had said, I want to see what Simon Dalley's doing, because part of my part of my name is associated with the brand, and that's really worked for us as well. Even if quite often it just seems like they're ruthlessly mocking me on our social media platforms, it is done for a specific reason, and it really works, and the community's really engaged with it. So that's just going back. But the point I was making is I've actually got a community interest company that I run called the Let's Talk Project. It's an emotional support and listening service. It's run by volunteers. So we've got about 14 volunteers that see people down in the office down the road. And nobody's really got time to commit to doing the social media for it. So I've taken my learnings there and just said, right, well, this is, it feels okay. It feels safe to use the kind of tools that are out there at the moment for, the AI tools that are out there at the moment to automate content onto that platform. And that's working really well. The engagement's there. The content is as you would hope it would be for a kind of like I was saying, emotional support and listening service, a voluntary community project like that. So that's all right. It's not it struggles to do the kind of out there stuff that Grow Traffic tends to do on our social media or like to do on our kind of social media platforms.
Social responsibility, Simon, something that is a very good path for entrepreneurs to follow. We have the you can do two things. You can become a very successful entrepreneur, very wealthy, and there you go. You take all your money, you buy a big house, you buy a big Ferrari, you go on holiday, and you spend your money like this. But there is another way that we can, as entrepreneurs, we can make money but do good is actually using our skills, our experiences, and reinvest this wealth into the community and creating jobs in the community, making the people in the community learn new skills that they can now they don't need to go and find jobs out there because they already learned a skill and they can create their own job. So I know that you're a big advocate uh, to conscious
Community is a
entrepreneurs because I was reading in your bio that you're very involved with your community
yeah,
and actually creating a hub there to to give opportunity to the people. That's
yeah.
amazing. Why do you think we need more conscious entrepreneurs in the world? I think that we will live in very completely different planet if all entrepreneurs out there you go to the point that you become really wealthy, you have the company and you grow it and you're wealthy. But how about if this wealth can be invested in something meaningful that have an impact to the community? And we're talking about social responsibility. There is a lot of misconception out there. A lot of people are using this for marketing. Or just, hey,
Yeah.
I'm recycling a plastic bottle. Look, my company is good. And rather than actually failing, because social responsibility is it's not only about recycling, it's all about contributing to charity, empowering the community, um, hide the minorities and made them integrate into the British society. I live there in UK, so I know very well the landscape. And we need more social responsible entrepreneur. We need more global conscious entrepreneur. My girlfriend really have a movement with Mary Diamond from the movie The Secret, what it calls global conscious entrepreneur. We need to keep raising this awareness. What do you think that we are in United Kingdom and in the world in that sense? Um, of purpose that we need to find into the entrepreneur to empower communities. Because I think it's better that we do it as an entrepreneur. The governments they're already really busy thinking what to do with our tax money. So we
Yeah.
can make a difference ourselves, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And community is a massive part of what we've tried to do with Grow Traffic. So I am the chair of the town development board, for example. And we've secured levelling up fund money to redevelop the town centre. Rachel, my fellow director, and my wife, is the chair of the local business association. So those are a few things, and we've been so involved in various different projects. I think it's really important to give back. Ultimately, we are part of the community, and our son goes to school in the community. We live here. We benefit from everything that happens here. Most of our employees, should I say, are from our local community, and so our employees, should I say, and so you want to make the world around you as good as you can, and you develop skills as well running a business that you can transfer. So that's what happened with the Let's Talk project. When I established the Let's Talk project, I had an idea that I wanted to bring to life in terms of supporting a certain kind of people in the community. And I heard on the grapevine that there was somebody else who, young lad, wanted to set up. He was in the kind of caring counselling industry. He wanted to set up a charity. He said, I said, look, let's come together. Let's work with each other to establish this business. This it's not a business; it's a community interest company. I think it's been going for over 3 years now. So it's good. It's fully supported by volunteers. Like you say, we bought an old Church of England church, the parish church in the town, and we are in the process of converting that into offices for ourselves, for other digital businesses. We're working in association with the local college to create a kind of skills base in there. Will be broadly based around digital skills. So we're investing our own money into that, and but but kind of like you said as well, it's a pension thing as well, isn't it? So there are advantages to doing it, but I think it's about understanding what motivates you as well. I've worked for people in the past that have been very materialistic, very focused on the Ferrari. There are pictures of the Ferrari all over the walls, and that's what they were going to get. And that's great if that's what motivates you. But for me, I want to create jobs for people. I want to employ people. I want to benefit the community around me. I am very fortunate. We live in a big old farmhouse. We've got several acres of land. We've got horses and pigs and peacocks and all the rest of it. And we go on holiday and we have a good lifestyle. We do okay. Um, I don't necessarily know if I want to become that person that focuses on, how do I get to that next stage? What's always that next thing? Because ultimately that is generally about comparing yourself with other people, and I think that for me, I think that would potentially could potentially be a bit damaging to my mental health, and I don't think that's the direction I want to go in. So I want to look at how I can use my talents and the resources that I've got to benefit the community, and that's why I help to coordinate Lancashire Day, for example. We're based in Lancashire, just near Manchester, but still in Lancashire, and every year I help the organisation that curates it to run that. I run the awards for them every year. As part of I work on their committee to do that. So I've done that for years now. So that's other things that I like to do. But it's all about giving back. It's all about recognizing what's going on in the community. Yeah, but it's really important. I'm not the only person within this business that does that. I think we've created a culture that looks to do that, that looks to give back as well.
I think that in the end of the day, Simon, as entrepreneurs, we have a lot to contribute to our communities because we do have skills, how to optimize budget and how to. I mean, no one better than us to create jobs. We this is our pride in our. This is what we produce. We develop product, we scale it, and we need people to work. And I think that if with this mindset can be see creating a hub in the community where people go there and learn and they have this mindset that they can create their own job. They don't have to, but that gives them a sense of freedom because you don't have to go there to try to fit into the job market that again and again and again things are more demanding, and maybe it just doesn't go with you. And it's important that people need to know that they have options, and entrepreneurs like you, like me, are involved in the community somehow. We do a lot of training all over the world in universities, and especially in South America. when we talk about how to start a business, how to grow a business, actually the deans of the universities is asking me, Harry, can you speak about this topic, particularly how to start and grow a business? Because we know that 50% of the students in Mexico, as soon as they finish the university, we know that 50% of them, they won't have a job. So if they can start to learn that there is an alternative, that they can start their own business and grow the business, well, like this, we guarantee that they have the basic knowledge and the opportunity for them to create their own job. I do talks in universities in Latin America and again and again and again with this topic, and I think that on the same basis in the United Kingdom, a country that is really easy to become an entrepreneur, really easy for you to be your own boss. We right now have the communities involved in drugs, in getting lost in the kind of easy money. If they learn a skill set and they have the opportunity that they know that they can create their own job, I think a lot of good can be done. Like I said, it's about do good and make money at the same time. What a beautiful concept. So thank you so much, Simon. They have been very inspiring. They talk to you. If somebody want to know more about your community projects or your company Go Traffic, how they can find you, how this process works?
Well, as a kind of at my core, I'm still an SEO consultant, so it'd be a bad show if they couldn't just search for me online and find me. I'm around. If you look for me online, you should be able to find me. LinkedIn, all the socials. You'll find me on growtraffic.co.uk. Still on X. If anybody wants to talk to me on X, then I'm still trying with the platform, but who knows where that's going to go.
Thank you so much, Simon. That has been fantastic. And for all of you following the broadcast, see you in our next episode of Unstoppable. How brave entrepreneur like Simon break that wall, achieve the first million. But for now,
bye.
Follow us for more interviews with world's most influential, audacious entrepreneurs that overcame challenges and adversity, providing you with the blueprint of how they sold their first million so you can grow your business exponentially.